launch some experiment and then understand the data and experiment review, and how can we get that thing on a flywheel.
Flywheel in this sense seems to refer to getting a process to work out at a certain speed in an even way. For example, a company may have a lot of different processes that operate at different speeds and don't coordinate very well with each other. So if they can get these processes to flywheel, or get them on a flywheel, that would mean that they're able to coordinate the activity between the different processes in a more effective manner.
And what is a flywheel?
A flywheel is a wheel that is on a machine where the machine gets energy input at different rates of speed. So the flywheel is able to dampen out the energy so that the machine puts out the energy on a constant basis, and also where the machine doesn't vibrate too much.
So the flywheel evens out the movement of the engine, makes it run smoothly. That's why he uses the analogy of this engine component for his organization, right? To put something on the flywheel to make it run smoothly.
Because I was convinced there's this gold nugget in here and we're going to find it and it's going to improve our recruiting 1,000%.
Gold nugget refers to either something that is very good and very valuable, or it can also refer to something where there's a lot of information that's packed into a very, very small container or reference to something.
And what is a nugget?
A nugget is a small rock, usually made out of gold, because that's a rock that you care about. A nugget can also be something else that resembles a small rock too. For example, a piece of food, like I think a nut could be a nugget as well.
Original meaning of gold nugget is a piece of gold. It's valuable in its own right. And then the metaphorical meaning is something that is valued highly. You can have let's say a big company acquires a small company, they will say it's a real gold nugget. Right?
That's correct. And part of the idea also is that something is small, and it could be small because it's valuable. It could also be small because it's in the sense of information, because it's expressed in a very compact way.
And a piece of advice or wisdom can be referred to as a gold nugget.
Exactly. So a good observation might be referred to as a nugget, because the small piece of information contains a lot more than it may at first appear. YouTube turned out to be quite a gold nugget for Google. It was originally a fairly small company, and now it provides a significant amount of their total revenue. Having a good library of reusable code is like having a pile of gold nuggets. The code comes in very, very handy, and it saves a lot of information writing new computer programs.
Nope, it's under this tree right here, and you should check to see if it's under the tree right there first, because I'll just have a hunch about some things or an intuition about some things. And
a hunch is an idea where somebody thinks something might be useful, and typically a hunch is an idea that just pops into somebody's head, and where the person gets a pretty good idea right from the start that the idea is true. And so they work on that premise that it's a true idea that they have and not a false one. A hunch is where someone has a suspicion or a premonition about something where they have a pretty good idea that their idea is true. It doesn't mean that they're completely convinced it's true, but the strength of the premonition gives them a pretty high degree of confidence.
You have an intuition about something, you can say, I have a hunch about
That's
that.
correct. So, for example, a wife might have a hunch that her husband is having an affair. She doesn't have any perfect information about it, but she has an idea that it might be true. And it could turn out that it's not true as well. Someone can have a hunch about a friend, that someone is not a true friend. Sherlock Holmes did get a lot of hunches, yes, but he didn't rely solely on his hunches. He used his detective skills and his examination skills to determine without a doubt who the criminal was. I had a hunch that he would make a deal. So I called him up on the phone and he was ready to sell. He had a hunch she would say yes when he asked her out for a date. Warren Buffett oftentimes describes his financial success as a series of hunches, but this is only after detailed analysis and years of experience that he was able to make these very, very prescient decisions.
That's all for today. Tom Taylor is an ESL tutor. He teaches English in the United States and outside, all over the world, using Skype. He can be reached at his website, which is
ESL-fullsteamahead.com.
click on this link and check out his website and email with questions. Thank you, Tom, and I'll talk to you next time.
Thank you.